Oh, yes. And Hare Krishna. So all of you came today, right? Morning? You reached in the morning today? So you're feeling comfortable here? You got nice accommodation? So you landed on the day of Ekadashi. And your classes are happening in the college. How did you go to college? You got cycles or you got auto or something? Auto you went. So all of you are here now. How many days? So you are leaving 29th, 30th. Okay. Okay, till Sunday evening. Monday early morning you're going. Monday morning. Okay. Monday 29th. Okay. And you'll be in Mayapur till when? Third. Okay. So third you will be then traveling back from Calcutta. From Calcutta. Okay. Okay. So you'll be 4 days. Effectively 4 days. Okay. So we are very grateful all of you come here. And personally, we are very grateful to see that you all have made this decision and choice to be serious in your spiritual life, to give it a serious priority in your life. So the Lord Shri Jagannath Gurudev Subhadra Maharani, Shri Nitai Sham Gaurcham, Shri Radha Sham Sundar, very pleased seeing all of you. So the topic which we are going to discuss today comes in this the series of booklet which is covered, the series of topics is covered, and then the Utkarsha camp, the Mayapur camp is called the Utkarsha camp. So we are starting from here so that there is some momentum built up, and then when you land actually in Mayapur, then you are in full momentum. You know? Something like that. So today we will discuss the first topic, password for happiness. Password for happiness. So in between we'll refer to the book. In between we'll refer to the book and do some exercises. And in the meantime, let us start with prayers. चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपं रामेण ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगना रघुनाथामृतं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सागरोतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादं सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नामिने। नमस्ते शास्त्रे देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। नमो मनोधन्याय कृष्ण प्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरविषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत श्री राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यां श्रीजगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्। हरे कृष्ण। Do you have an extra copy of the book? We will do a couple of exercises from the booklet in between. One time, one gentleman, he went to a forest for sightseeing. So he was in the forest. And while he was in the forest, he was absorbed in gazing all around. So he was gazing everywhere, all around. But as is the nature of this material world, now he was gazing all around, he was looking at the shades of the greenery. And as he was walking around, he was seeing the meandering water bodies, their trajectories, and the rustling of the leaves, and the chirping of the birds. And he was having a nice time. And he was very much absorbed in his gaze. But pretty much it is the nature of this material world that gaze is often accompanied by a chase. So all of a sudden, the deer and the rabbit started running here and there. He was fixed in his gaze. But then he realized that all that hustle bustle started happening because a wild elephant appeared from behind. And this wild elephant appeared, and the wild elephant was angry, and his eyes were red shut, and he was targeting at this gentleman only. So therefore the gaze now became a chase. Chase for life. So he started running for his life, and this wild elephant is behind. This man is running and running and running and running. Nowhere to find recluse. then he was thinking, how long will I keep running? With the elephant, lot of strength. It's wild elephants, lot of strength. How much I can run? How can I escape? And then he got an idea. So he saw a big tree, he thought, okay, let me climb the tree. So he climbed the tree and then he was sitting at the top rungs of the tree. And he thought, okay, I am higher than the elephant, so I can escape. But this elephant was also determined. So this elephant was not leaving. The elephant thought, okay, this man has gone up. I will take him along with the tree. So therefore this elephant, as you can see, is endeavoring to uproot the tree only, or to shake the tree so that he falls off or the tree only falls off. Like that. But this man was thinking, anyways, I have chosen a strong tree. Sir, my strong tree will have the strength to face it, to face the elephant. And therefore the elephant was trying hard. This man is sitting at the top and he's thinking, everything is alright now. Because this tree is stronger than the elephant, it seems. Now I have successfully become victorious over all these seeming problems of life. And he was sitting and he was having a sigh of relief. This elephant is not able to do damage to the tree. And again he started looking around. I'm getting fresh air, getting to look around, no problem, I'm still alive. All of a sudden he heard some creaking sound. Like that. And again the sound came, and again the sound came. And he was wondering what's happening. But now along with the sound, there was some displacement also of the branch in which he was sitting. And he was wondering, hey, what is happening? As if the branch is becoming loose. So he looked up and he saw the root of the branch to the main shoot that is being eaten up by two healthy, big, enthusiastic rats. White rat, black rat. So the black and white activism started. And these rats were hell-bent on eating up that branch only. And he was wondering, all the branches in this tree, why these fellows got this branch only? So then he thought, okay, I have to do something now. So, well, the elephant is not going away. He seems to be an enthusiastic elephant. And the rats are also enthusiastic, and it's just a matter of time. This branch is going to fall off. So he started looking, is there any other option? And then he saw, oh, ahead is a well. So he said, okay, all is well because there is a well. So he started displacing himself towards the edge of the branch so that he can go above, vertically above the well, and he can jump in the well. So he took his strategic position. So now he's no more sitting because it's the thin end of the branch. He's no more sitting, he's hanging down and he's preparing himself for a jump. And then he said, okay, let me retest the location coordinates and whether I'm alright or not. I should not land up banging against the side walls or something like that. I should go right into the well and then all will be well. So in this way, but when he was doing the final testing, configuration testing analysis, his final configuration testing analysis, he saw something in the well other than the water. And that something was also getting enthusiastic. So as you can see in the figure, just about to jump. But because he was having an engineering mindset, he did some final configuration analysis. He found one living entity popped out, second one popped out, and they sent WhatsApp message, their whole family came. So you are seeing all these cobras and so their whole family came. They thought, oh, lunch. Many days we have not had feast. Now this feast is about to drop from the sky. See, on its own, we are going to get a good feast. So they were all very enthusiastic. So you see, all of them took their strategic position. This person will come and we will bounce on him and eat him out. So now he cannot even jump. Can't even jump. Why? Because down there is cobra. So what to do? So he cannot, now there is no use going back. Anyway, this branch is going to fall. There is no use jumping on the land, the elephant will pounce. There is no use much being on the branch also. So many times life puts one to such kind of a crossroad, where one, whatever one does, it is always going to be a disaster, catastrophe. And he was crying loudly, He was crying loudly, blaming God, why did you do this to me? But all of a sudden, something fell in his mouth while he had opened his mouth. He thought, is it a mosquito or what? Some liquid had fallen, and a liquid drop had fallen, and it was very sweet, and it was honey. And then he looked up, and there was that honeycomb. So one drop had come. He thought, very nice. But then as soon as that happened, but then he was thinking, okay, and now at least for some time, whenever there is that honey, I can enjoy, I have a nice life. But in between he was seeing that he was getting a lot of pain and itch all over. Then he looked around and he saw that because the honey was there, along with the honey, the bees were also there. And they were also giving Mahaprasad. So he was hanging. And all of a sudden he was getting jerks on his leg or his back. But he cannot eat now because he's hanging. He's hanging. And he's itching and trying to, he's trying to hold, he's trying to hold, and in between he's seeing one drop is about to fall, and then he's doing some gymnastic pose to get that drop. And then he's thinking what to do. After all, life is not all that bad, because there are few drops of honey at least. So the Shastras, they describe this beautiful story to depict that our situation in this material world is exactly like this. When we come in the material world, one is saying, wow, very nice, and one is gazing all around, but that gaze becomes a chase. The gaze becomes a chase. So what is this wild elephant? In some versions in the Purana, this instead of wild elephant, there is a wild lion. Anyhow, the effect is the same. the effect is the same. So this wild elephant represents kala or time. So the time is chasing everyone. The time is chasing everyone. So you see, time is chasing everyone. So we see people in this world, they want to sleep or drown themselves in their own shells of sense gratification. But it is this time factor which chases them off. It's a time factor which chases them off. How? Every kind of situation we can see this. See a typical scenario in the colleges. So when the semester starts, the students are very happy. Not because the semester is started and studies is started, but because the exam is very far. When they feel, oh, exam is 3 months to go, who cares? Now is the time to enjoy, is it not? Parents are also not around. Now is the time to chill. And everyone is very happy. So people are into movies, roaming around. In Kharagpur there is not much to roam around. So you can try it out, there is actually not much. But probably in Pune there may be some things to go around, So here is not much. So or movies, or girlfriends, and so on and so forth, permutations, combinations. So people are busy in all that, and they feel that, okay, I am chilling out in life, and this is like, I had the Gen Z life, and I'm having a nice time. Yo! And then one is doing yo, and like this, happens to reach in a class, and the professor is telling, Alan, we have come today, surprise test today. The person is, is it not? And all of a sudden, one fine day, fine or not so fine, one fine, not so fine day, one realizes that exam is only 5 days now. 80% of the classes one is bunked, doing proxy, What is the syllabus, that also one doesn't know, And now everybody is running behind some hard-working guys, who actually go to class and make some notes. So their notebooks are in high demand and all that, right? So now all of a sudden, all that happy time, happy life, has been chased off. One is chased off on that happy setting, is it not? Like that. This has been happening all through, is it not? School days also. The children, they are very fond of television or video games. Youth are also very fond of it. So, attachments don't change, only the body changes. So one is lost into that. Now when we say as a child in school also, we may have been lost into watching a movie or watching episodes and watching the video, playing the video game and all that. All of a sudden, father and mother comes and switches off the main supply. And we are crying and saying, I want it and all that. No. First you have to do homework. Is it not? So you see, we are being chased off. So the living entity is very expert and adept in trying to drown in some sort of pool of sense gratification, and the time factor chases him off. Like that. So many times we see Janta, the candidates here in KGP, so they are roaming around, having a nice time, like that. And all of a sudden they realize, hey, I am in 8th semester. The placements are coming. And I have not studied. That kind of thing happens all the time. The person may realize, hey, pass out भी हो गए, पढ़ाई तो करना चालू नहीं किया. मैं सोच रहा था अगले सेमेस्टर से करूँगा. होते आपने पास आउट भी हो गया. 6 points CGPA in total, right? So like that. See, this is how it happens, And sometimes people time flies like anything, and one is forced to get out of it. Forced to get out of it. So, so this way the time changes. I remember I used to like running a lot. You know, at one point of time, I was running 8 kilometers every day. It only takes 40 minutes. Yeah, people spend 4 hours on social media. You know, you tell them to chant Hare Krishna, then they say, "Oh, आपका एक माला में 10 मिनट लग रहा है." So sometimes when people say like that, you know, like that, some of my devotees are laughing, "अरे एक माला में लग रहा है." अभी तो एक माला में लग रहा है. So now you see. But you see that there is a point. This is how so this is how the mindset is. But I used to run around. So I made so I was running 6 kilometers. I was running for 6 years, like that. And then I thought, let me increase it, like that. So I made it 10, and I was running 1 week, 2 weeks. After that, I was not able to run. It was paining a lot, like that. And then I could, then I googled it out, figured it out, thought about it, discussed with a few doctors. Then I understood what happened. So my tendons had got torn off. You know, ligament, tendon, whatever you call it as, that which joins the bone to the skin, like that. Tendons, ligaments and all that. It got torn off, but yeah, like that. So because of that, so then what had happened is that, it happens sometimes, So it happened because it was a 4-kilometer jumping trees and all that. So I was running, I was having a nice time, I'm running around and all that. So, and all of a sudden, now I was only able to walk with some difficulty, No question of any dancing, So how much time it took? It took 2 years. Otherwise, you do an operation, it will take 1-2 lakhs or something like that. So I chose to go the natural way. So it took 2 years, like that. So we may be absorbed and obsessed in our own slumber, but the time factor is always changing. But then a person thinks, no, I'm very smart. I'm IIT, NIT, MIT, SIT. I'm very smart. I can find a solution to the problem. So like this gentleman, he climbed up the tree. He said, okay, this tree is higher than the reach of the elephant, so I can solve the problem. And then one will say, oh, the problem is done, and I have solved the problem. See, like that. But then one problem ends and 2 problems start. That is how life is all about. So these rats are compared to day and night. The white rat is the day, and the black rat is the night. For some people, it may be the reverse. Depends on when they are active and when they are sleeping. But anyway, both the rats do the same job. What is the job? To take off all our happy days. So now we are not on a chase, some terrible problem is not coming, but the happy days are getting depleted. And everybody knows it is just a matter of time. Like there are some people, what they do is that they cherish goal of their lives, rather not some people. Most of the people in the world, if we talk about world economy or world lifestyle, most of the people in their world, the lifestyle is what? Their lifestyle is whole year they are going to work very hard and save money. For what? For the cherished activity which they will do at the end of the year. For most of the people in the world, it is the December month. From January to November, they slog like anything, work hard, save money, so that in December vacation, Christmas vacation, December, they can go out for a vacation, for an outing to some scenic place, like the gentleman came, some scenic place like that, So when I had seen many of these Westerners, they made it a point that every December vacation they will go out to a different place. Sometimes I would be traveling back to India from Melbourne, and then I would meet these guys, and then they would say, okay, last time you were in Sydney, this time you have come to Melbourne, and or next time we'll go to somewhere else, Hawaii or somewhere else here, there. So now, if you try to analyze the activity, so now that so-called, now this vacation is a so-called happy days, is it not? But from day one, the so-called happy days, one of our devotees, one time he said his parents were going for a 1 month vacation tour, so their 10-year savings they were investing in that. So to Europe. So now if you want to go and apply the visa, there only they are asking, how many days are you going to stay? Which country you are going to go? Which city you are going to travel? Which date, which city you will be there? What is your hotel booking, which date? All those things you have to produce. Then they will say, okay, ज़्यादा नहीं करना. And return ticket, that also you have to submit, photocopy. Like that. So they spend 10 lakh rupees for a 25-day tour, like that. And then 2-3 days, and then that go to Europe, all countries, different countries are like cities only. Once you are in, and you have a visa, then you can go from one to the other. It's okay. They're like cities only. It's like Calcutta to Bhubaneswar, it's like Germany to France. It's like that. So then they were roaming around here and there, and they spent all their earning and come back to the same place. So from the first day, they know that time is ticking off. Is it not? Today, tomorrow, only, and day after we are going. From France to Germany, Germany to Belgium to whatever, Ireland, Switzerland, back to the hard work land. So day and night act like that always, is it not? So the so-called happy days, they pass away. Now one may say, no, I can make some other solution. But whatever solution we make, so like this fellow was thinking of jumping in the well. Whatever solution we make, there is somebody present beforehand to spoil it. Is it not? Somebody present beforehand to spoil it. That way. So, and person में से ठीक है, कम से कम 4 दिन की चांदनी तो एंजॉय कर लेता हूँ, है ना? अंधेरी रात आ रही है, अब क्या कर सकते हैं? लेकिन जब तक चांदनी है, तब तक तो एंजॉय करते हैं, like that. But in this world वो भी नहीं होता है. क्यों? Because you may be hanging and you may be saying, okay, I am enjoying. है ना? कम से कम hanging तो हो ना, जिंदा तो हूँ कम से कम. And one may be enjoying, thinking कि जिंदा तो हूँ कम से कम. But वहाँ पे भी चैन नहीं है. क्यों? Because there are bees which keep biting. Ooh, ah, ouch. The person is always being bitten by the bees. All the time. All the time. तो ये तो बैड पार्ट ऑफ द स्टोरी है ना? वेलकम टू मटेरियल वर्ल्ड. But in all material day or advertisement, this is not the Zoom. In all material day trailers, teasers, whatever, the Zoom is, जैसे ठीक है, bad part, sad part ठीक है, good part के ऊपर zoom करते हैं. What is the good part? That you are hanging, and all of a sudden a drop of honey comes. Pure honey on your mouth. You are feeling so tasty, so yummy, yum, yum, yum. Like that. And therefore they say, okay, be in the material world. Don't go out. Why? Because the honey drop will come. The honey drop will come. So therefore the happiness in this material world is a very weird context. The happiness in this material world is a very weird context. So therefore the Shastras give the analogy that in material world, the happiness which is there, in this material world is exactly like this. So suppose a person, he was roaming around doing sightseeing again. See, this sightseeing is a very bad habit which everybody has. Now, people want to explore. They want to explore new trajectories. That's why people are not much excited in India. They want to go to, people are dying to go to Melbourne, Australia, or Europe, United States. Now is no more accepting, you know. Then Canada and Australia have increased, you know, like that. So people are dying to go there, somehow or the other, you know, like that. But what are you going to find there? Same problems, you know. Same problems, you know. Indian elephant is a little more blackish. There the elephant will have a little greyish shade, that's it. The elephant remains elephant still. The misery remains misery still. You know? Only it will come under the branding of a different name. You know? Right? It will be a little American name or Australian brand name like that. But inside package, same misery. So one is in a desert and now it is 50 degrees centigrade in the desert, one is roaming around. Somehow roaming around in the desert all alone, not understanding from where he came and where one is supposed to go, you know, and wondering and nothing to eat, nothing to drink and so on and so forth. And one is dying in that scorching sun, waiting for water. And then all of a sudden a helicopter comes and in that there is a big flag which is written water. Person very enthusiastic, person is telling, hey, main idhar hu, de do, water de do. And the person inside that helicopter is also waving, yes, I'll give you, I've spotted you. And the helicopter is landing, this guy is very enthusiastic, now I'll get water. And this person has come with a big bag. So this big bag he has, and the person says, I'll get water now, I'll get energy, I'll get life. So this guy, doing the services, he opens the bag and then inside the bag there is a box, inside that there is another box, another box, another box, another box. And finally there is a small box. And in that there is something and he opens the lid, And he says, okay, open your mouth. This person opened the mouth, something will come at least. And he gives him one drop of water from a funnel, what do you call it as? And he says, oh yeah. So this is exactly the scene what we have in this world. One time one guy, he was having some problems. He was facing some health problems and issues and all that. He went to doctor. So the doctor did some tests. He said, okay, come after 1 week, I'll give you full analysis report. So this patient, he went after 1 week, he said, doctor, what is the thing? What is the scene? क्या है? ठीक है ना? डॉक्टर said, देखो क्या है? थोड़ा खट्टा मीठा है, ठीक भी है, नहीं भी है. And he said, इसका क्या मतलब है? डॉक्टर said, देखो इसका मतलब क्या है? I have one good news for you and one bad news for you. अभी आप बताओ क्या चाहिए आपको पहले? गुड न्यूज चाहिए, बैड न्यूज चाहिए? भी आप लोग को क्या चाहिए? तो बैड न्यूज चाहिए. तो डॉक्टर से ठीक है, बैड न्यूज चाहिए, टाइटन योर बेल्ट्स, स्टेबलाइज योरसेल्फ, है ना, थोड़ा पुशअप करके बैठो, है ना. नाउ आफ्टर दैट डॉक्टर से देखो बैड न्यूज क्या है, क्या बताएं? You got cancer. The patient is dying. First stage, fourth stage. वो भी advanced. When the patient is crying, हाय, बर्बाद हो गया मैं, कैंसर हो गया, fourth stage, terminal, वो भी advanced, कुछ नहीं हो सकता. He's crying, banging his chest, The doctor said, hey, wait. I said, अभी भी कुछ बचा है क्या? नहीं, good news बचा है ना? I said, इतना होने के बाद अभी good news क्या है? Do I have years to live? Doctor saying, no. Okay, months? Okay, weeks? ठीक है, इसके आगे नहीं बढ़ सकता। अभी good news क्या है? The doctor saying, see, the good news is you have got another disease. I said, ये भी? अब इसमें क्या है? The doctor said, first listen the whole story. You have got another disease, a very special disease called as Alzheimer. Oh, what will happen with that disease is that in another 3 minutes you will forget whatever happened between us. So you will forget that you have cancer. Therefore, enjoy. So this material world is exactly like that. So there is so much misery, suffering, pain, which is there all around. But then there is this thin veil of illusion, and we try to, and one tries to simply, jump in that and drown in that. And one is thinking, oh, everything is okay. What is this thin film of illusion all around? So this thin film of illusion which is there, and people are simply driven by that. See, by what means our lives are very good? By any means to say. Nowadays, you see physical problem, diseases, ailments have increased. When I was a small child, by small I mean 8 years old, then I used to see in our locality, there were uncles whose age was 100, 105, 110, and they used to walk and talk. Healthy, happy, healthy. They would be walking around and you would meet them every day, And nowadays, do you see somebody, doing a century? Very rare, My mother used to say that till she became 40, she was not knowing any such disease whatsoever. Now I see people taking KDP admission, they are half diseased. How many people can run even 1 kilometer? Basic reality of life. How many people can even run 1 kilometer? 1 kilometer means nothing, 1 kilometer means from here to main gate of IIT. It's nothing. So, how many people can walk 5 kilometers? So I used to see in my school, sometimes this principal, he was a strict guy. So this there is this assembly, you have to stand in the assembly, and you stand in the assembly in the ground and all that. And sometimes we do a longer assembly, In the longer assembly, people would be dropping off. Sound will come. क्या हो गया? Faint हो गया, एक और गया, like that. तो 1 घंटा खड़ा नहीं हुआ जाता है, This is the state of our body. And people are having headache, backache, toothache, and so many aches and all that, and more so mind ache. Mind ache. Familiar, And then one is thinking, that life and then one is thinking नहीं क्या है life में इतना भी problem नहीं है इतना भी problem नहीं है ना हाँ why क्योंकि मुझे वो जो what is that S.S. राजमौली के next movie का first day का show ticket मिल गया है ना this is the kind of lifestyle people are having isn't that no. This is the kind of lifestyle people are having. So therefore we see that this material world is nowadays you see so I used to see people who would be very frustrated and especially when they would come here to KGP they would be very frustrated you know and people would be crying you know, they would be crying and all that you know very desperate very frustrated. Why frustrated? So one devotee explained to me what is this frustration you know because he had just come first year second year then he was telling he said Bhuji I said okay okay cool down no? So what happened you know? He said Prabhuji my parents have been cheating me whole life. So क्यों भाई अच्छा खासा आपका ध्यान रखा no? They are giving all facilities to you ना अभी आपका IIT का फीस भी दे रहे हैं ना फीस बढ़ा दिया ना IIT ने पहले इतना नहीं था nowadays how much is the fees
1.5 for general
for per semester per year per semester ना
1.5 lakh
so I had to pay 2 lakhs for all 4 years including tuition staying lodging everything 50,000 per semester ना like that तो बढ़ गया अभी बहुत ना so and so so people were frustrated and they said मुझे क्या है and parents ने बोला था see he said I never used to like studies common है ना common है ना most of the जनता in KGP IIT here also don't like studies ना so I never used to like study Prabhuji then I said then what happened then parents said बस बेटा बस एक बोर्ड्स निकाल दो so then I made a point I said बस एक बोर्ड्स ही निकालना है ना 10th का बस I said बस बेटा इतना बस है ना then he slogged like anything है ना बोर्ड्स निकाल दिया 94% then he was trying to enjoy you know having a nice life गाली बोल तो नहीं खाता so he was having a nice and then parents said अरे ये क्या है enjoying 90% boards you know school ranking this that whatever and parents said अरे ये क्या है 10th तो कुछ भी नहीं होता है हाँ 10th कुछ भी नहीं होता है तो क्या होता है 12th is the main thing 10th को कोई थूकता है 10th pass 10th whatever 12th is the main thing वहीं से एडमिशन होता है जो भी होता है ना वहीं से चालू होता है जो भी अच्छा ठीक है अभी क्या करना है 12th में 90% डालो then person is logging and burning midnight oil whatever you know working very hard lot of pain you know World Cup is coming one cannot watch because sports is coming so those kind of pains are there lot of pain and then they say that boards कुछ नहीं होता है ना किसी भी गधे को भी 90% आ जाता है इसलिए ना लाइक है ना तो मुश्किल है अच्छा ठीक है फिर क्या करो कंपटीशन कौन सा कंपटीशन है ना बैठे हो तो मीट में बैठे हो या कौन सा है वो या जेई में बैठे हो है ना राइट राइडर नीट और जेई है ना राइडर दोनों में 20 लाख लोग बैठते हैं कितने 20 लाख अराउंड 20 lakhs 20 lakhs सीट कितना है 5,000
जेई में 18,000 के आसपास IIT में 18,000 के आसपास
18,000 so 20,000 out of 20 lakhs कितना हो गया 1:10 1:100 1:100 so compete then person is crying you know he is slogging very hard you know उसके लिए इधर तो you know ट्यूशन में डाल देते हैं उधर मोबाइल भी जब्त सब कुछ जब्त है ना केवल सुबह से रात तक you know they are giving dosage you know and all that so on so forth and all that you know 50 problems a day you know practice drill this that you know all after that somehow the other one comes in IIT अभी मैं enjoy करता हूँ ना and these IIT professors and deans are saying आ गए मियाँ। यहाँ पे हर कोई IITian है। अपनी ईगो थोड़ा डस्टबिन में फेंक के आओ। So that is the first tweet. They say, okay, here everybody is IITian. So what it means? What it means? You can get 5 point, you can get 6 point, you can get dash point. मतलब all are flying colors, Like quit exam, then you will get a CV. Like that. So you see, this devotee was telling Prabhuji, my parents have been cheating all the way. मैं IIT में आ गया, मैकेनिकल में आ गया, फिर किसमें? Then they are saying, अरे JEE को रैंक को कौन झूठता है ना? CGPA, है ना? So like that. So you see this material world, किधर है happiness? Is it not? Isn't it a great pain all the time? And a very minuscule gain. Illusory film of gain, is it not? And here people are dreaming, अरे मुझे Microsoft में जॉब लग जाए, है ना? अभी उसको बर्बाद होने में टाइम है ना? मेरा तो निकल जाएगा, है ना? या Google में जॉब लग जाए, जो भी है ना? Something like that. और मान लो लग भी गया जॉब, so then one is very very happy. I'm very happy with Google guy, going to Hyderabad office, है ना? And very soon I'll be posted to Mountain View, है ना? So when one is walking around, one is seeing the company, so big company, like that, and I have joined the Google and all that, and he's seeing and all that. The first day orientation is taken inside the room, and then they say, hey, you guys, you are all trainee fellows. Trainee का मतलब होता है illiterate, unpad, अंगूठा छाप, है ना? And then say, hey, you guys, our culture is here to perform, no tolerance, है ना? Because Google is a brand, you understood, they need to perform at that level, this level, and whatever job you will get, they will speak the same thing, like that. And then again one has to stop, because one understands that my तो training, top guy is the manager है, उसके ऊपर delivery manager, उसके ऊपर ये है ना, so then one has to again chase. So where in life one is getting happiness? That is the point. So therefore, we see that many times the happiness in this world is very illusory. So this material world is very much like so there are these two ways or two understandings. One is that the happiness is illusory. So one is in a slumber of happiness. So sometimes people say, नहीं happiness है ना, किधर है illusory है ना? Like I remember one time we were in Bangalore, so we had gone to IIM and we were distributing Bhagavad Gita, trying to find out those who were interested. So some of our devotees were there, and they had gone to one particular floor, and they came running, and they were very fearful. And there was this senior devotee, and then he was asking, "Arey, why are you so fearful?" They said, "Prabhu, we cannot not distribute books here." And they said, "Why? What happened?" We can just show and talk. Who is interested can take. They said, "No, Prabhu, this is too bad a place. Can't do it." So he said, "But tell me what is the incident?" Then they said, "No, we cannot. Instead of telling, we'll take you there. Come and see for yourself." So what had happened is that these two devotees, they had gone to they were distributing. So there are common hostels, boys and girls, IIMs. So and they happened to. So one room was, they were about to enter, it was open, so they sneaked in a little bit, they moved it a little bit, and they saw that the boy and girl, they were lying down on the bed and trying to do something. Some romantic episodes were going on. So they got fearful, So they step back, like that. That okay, we will not enter this, But that guy from inside, he understood that somebody has come. So he started telling, hey, come in, शर्माओ नहीं, आ जाओ, घबराओ नहीं, शर्माओ नहीं, आ जाओ. So again they were not coming, and they were thinking, अभी जाए नहीं जाए क्या करें, they were stunned like that. So he came out. He was not properly clothed. He came out, and he opened the door, and he said, hey, आ जाओ, घबराओ नहीं, डरो नहीं, अपना ही जगह है, आ जाओ. So he called them in. So and this girl, she was still lying down. And he said, ठीक है, अभी बोलो क्या बोलना है. So they started telling, the voice was not coming, they were murmuring and all that. They started telling, Bhagavad Gita can give you happiness and whatever. And they started telling something like that. So, and then he said, hey, wait a minute. क्या बोला? Happiness. He said, happiness is right here. He was pointing to that girl. And these devotees, they were remembering Narasimha. So they were feeling very embarrassed and all that. And he said, देख उसको, देख. Happiness is right here. क्या बोल रहे हो तुम? अभी continue करो. Like that was the scene. So now, so therefore the devotees had become very fearful actually. That these people are too degraded, sort of, like that. But this is what they call it as boldness, and this is what they call it as the modern Gen Z culture and all that. That be very open, be very explicit, and so on and so forth. Now this guy was talking about happiness, and and then he is saying that okay, I can get happiness very easily. Whereas what is the talk of spirituality? So he is laughing out at spirituality, and he is laughing out at any kind of Bhagavad Gita and all that. He's selling happiness I have instant here. What is the need for me? But what is the nature of that happiness? That is to be analyzed also. What is the nature of that happiness? Because there are no values and principles. One day there is makeup, second day there is breakup. And people may say, so no matter whatever people say that no, we are, we take it chill, with no strings attached and this and that. But when there is a breakup, everybody, is thrown apart. There is explosions. The life is thrown apart. So people are not able to handle it. And therefore many of them, therefore there are so many suicides. Therefore there are so many crimes. Because the love affairs have become triangular, rectangular, octagonal, whatever, So then there are, then that leads to very, very complicated life, kind of lifestyle, So we may say that take it easy, but it is not easy, The human mind is not geared for all that. Human mind is not geared for all that. People become, what to say of here, what to say of India, even in America, it is not easy. So in MIT, we had one of our students, so he was doing a PhD in metallurgy in MIT. He was an American, Nathan Ribello, that was his name. Nathan Ribello means Indian body, American processor. So, his mother was a Christian, and then they settled, so then they, So Nathan Ribello. So from his accent, from his talks, from his mannerisms, he's pure American. Because processor is American, like that. And So he fell in love or lust, for a girl. And she agreed for some time. But then she said, I changed my mind. Sorry. Okay. All the best for your future endeavors, future career, like that. So he couldn't take it. He had just completed his PhD, fortunately. And he had got a postdoc in MIT. And he was continuing with his postdoc. So he became so much, it happened to him, and he became so much nuts and he was not able to take it up. So he was following that girl, and then he was wanting to talk to her and plead and this and that, and she was not agreeing. She said, I changed my mind. He said, I changed my mind, sorry. So then he started threatening her, see, if you don't agree, I will kill you. So she got very frightened. And she was an American girl. In body also American, processor also American. Like that. So she got very much afraid. And then she went to the MIT management. MIT management got very much afraid. And they called this Nathan Rebello. They said, hey, Lila, this is beyond our limits, like that. So they told him, you wind up your postdoc, leave, how much notice? 24 hours notice, leave. No postdoc in MIT, no staying in the hostels. So you're staying in the hostel. In one day, he was asked to leave. Why? Because the MIT, they were very fearful that this guy is going to do something, because those kind of things are very common. So you see, one may say that, okay, I am Gen Z, but this kind of, we are not made for all that. So what happiness one is talking about? When there is no value, no principles. What kind of happiness one is talking about? It takes such a toll on the mind. And so when this happened, then he called me. He said, Prabhuji, your voice hai in English you speaking, He's American, no? So he said, your center you're trying to open, can I stay in that center? I said, no, that center is a little more intense and condensed, it's a little more drill, it requires a little more practice and a little more gymnastic, your internal muscles have to get a little more reflexive. He said, no problem, I'm ready for drill, I'm ready for any kind of drill. I said, no, we have a drill right in the morning. He said, okay, what time in the morning? I said, 4:30 in the morning. There's a drill, it's a spiritual drill, it's a nice one, but then you need some practice, you need to come up, your muscles need to get toned up a bit. He said, no problem, we're Americans, we can do it. I said, okay, but then it's a long drill, It's only 10-15 minutes drill. I said, oh, really? How long your drill takes? It takes around 5 hours. So he said, no, I can do it. I said, no, you can do it, but maybe after a year or so. You take it up step by step, systematic. He said, no, I can do it. So I never knew what was the urgency. So later I came to know what was the urgency, like that. So because he had no place to go, because his parents used to stay in Atlanta, and this is Boston, by the way, Boston to Atlanta is at least 4 hours flight, something like that. 4 hours flight. 4 hours from here you can reach Singapore. That much. 4 hours flight. So now America is huge. So he shifted. So I was not knowing. I gave him a chance, and then he started picking up his spiritual practices. But you see, the point is that people cannot take it. Many times, people dream of destination marriage in India. They spend 2 crores, 4 crores, 6 crores, and that marriage does not last 6 months also. In Jaisalmer, Ajmer, and all these destination weddings and all that. So that marriage does not last 6 months also. What is the happiness we are talking about? So this guy, he was thinking that he is an IIM fellow. He has cracked IIM and not Ahmedabad, Bangalore. See, IIM Ahmedabad is A grade, and IIM Bangalore is B grade, and Calcutta is C grade. And then the others are different grades. So that's how the ranking was, before also, like that. So anyways, he was thinking, I'm a very smart guy, I have cracked IIM, I'm at the top of the world, and I have enjoyment right, and he was a great fool. And in his own pride, whom is he cheating? The point is, the question is, whom is he cheating? He was cheating himself. Because these devotees who became fearful, they came back, they chanted some extra rounds. So they were all in good shape. They chanted some extra rounds, they read the Bhagavad Gita a little more extra, and they were all right. But who is the problem? Is this guy who is thinking that I am too smart, dead smart. So I can outsmart any problem in life. Because I have enjoyment. So this is the nature of material happiness. That very much this game of material happiness is a game of fooling. And therefore you will see in reality, there is no much happiness in this world. But people don't want to stay in reality. They want to stay in virtuality. That is the problem. And then we talk about false ego, and false ego is the first of the fundamental virtuality claim creator module. Because to do anything in reality requires a lot of efforts. So people want to take the virtual route. Just like, even as a child, now suppose if you want to play cricket, there is a ground and people are playing cricket, and you want to go and play cricket. Now to play good cricket, you have to do hard work. Lot of hard work is required, lot of practice is required, lot of effort, lot of time you have to spend. Is it not? Either you get training or you observe and then you follow. Is it not? A lot of observance, practice, and lot of determination, grit and all that is required. So person may go and play, when playing with colleagues and all that, or seniors and all that, a person may get bowled out in the first ball only. And he may be given bowling and all balls are going out of boundaries. And then like that will happen. And then the same guy may come and say, maza nahi aaya. So he may come back to his home and he may log into the video game cricket. World Cup cricket. And in that video game cricket, this guy may be winning and say, maza aa raha hai. Because in that you can choose, settings you can only make, You can only make settings and all that, there are cheat codes and settings and all that. And you can be, and one can be winning the World Cup also in that game, video game, like that. So that is the point, that this material world, reality, not much one can get. Lot of hard work has to be done. But people want to land up in virtuality. So therefore what wise man said, richness, the barometer of richness is not how much you earn. The barometer of richness is how much you save. Not how much you earn. Like that. How much you save, is it not? So this is the point. Now one may. So then what happens is that people out of this false ego, what it does is that now reality starts proving that you are nobody. You are insignificant in every ground. That is what reality starts to prove. One may think that is what reality starts to, the time factor tries to prove all the time. But the false ego creates a new different ground where one can prove oneself to be very great. So therefore you will see in this world everyone is proud. So everyone is very proud and intoxicated by their false pride. अभी किस बात का false pride? तो इसलिए नहीं false pride. Because everybody has a ground where they are able to see that they are the boss. Abhi like this fellow is there in the company, he is being scolded by the boss 3 times a day. When he is going to be thrown off from job, anytime. But he comes back and he is shouting at his wife and children, and he is thinking I am the boss in the home. Is it not? That is the satisfaction of his false pride. So sometimes person is beaten up by the left, right is thrashed by the boss. He was not able to utter a word. He comes back home, the children are playing and they're saying, Papa, no, take this car, you also play, and he's shouting at them. Ah! So all that went is putting up on these poor children. And then the person is thinking, I'm a boss. Like that. Like that everybody thinks. Not even humans, even dogs think like that. Even dogs think like that. So if you walk in an unknown street, a dog will come in that street and start barking at you. What is he telling? Hey, mera sadak hai. Tum kaise aa gaye? Is it not? Like that. Even a dog thinks like that. In the morning I was making a point that even a beggar thinks that he is very great. अभी भिखारी है, उसमें क्या greatness? Is it not? Class 3 dropout. But you say नहीं, मैं ordinary भिखारी नहीं हूँ. पूरे हावड़ा स्टेशन का नंबर 1 भिखारी हूँ. बाकी लोग को 80 रुपए मिलता है, मेरे को 100 मिलता है per day. Like that. So this is the kind of world we are living in. No? So therefore the story of that Alzheimer. ये भौतिक जगत कैसा है? ये बहुत बड़े बर्गर की तरह है. बर्गर क्या है? बर्गर. अब बर्गर में क्या होता है? वो ब्रेड के लोज होते हैं, राइट? ऊपर नीचे ब्रेड के लोज होते हैं, बीच में मेन आइटम होता है. Whatever cheese or पनीर और whatever, no, or some whatever toppings are there. जो भी होता है बीच में ही होता है. Is it not? So ये भौतिक जगत कैसा बर्गर है? बहुत बड़ा बर्गर है. ये इतना बड़ा बर्गर है. उसमें बड़ा क्या है? उसके दोनों लोव्स बहुत बड़े हैं. एक लोव इतना बड़ा है, दूसरा भी इतना बड़ा है. तो ये मीटर जितना बड़ा है, इतने मीटर, वो भी उतना मीटर है. और बीच का जो मेन आइटम है वो नैनोमीटर है. वेरी थिन फिल्म. वेरी थिन फिल्म. इतना पिद्दी सा है. जैसे कई बार किसी सिद्ध मंदिर में दर्शन के लिए जाते हैं, 6 घंटा लाइन में रहते हैं और दर्शन मिलता है 30 सेकंड से 1 मिनट. कई बार लोगों को पता ही नहीं लगता. यू कम एट अ स्पॉट and then you saying hey, भगवान किधर है? इतने में आगे बढ़ा देते हैं. फिर 6 घंटे के बाद experience like that. भौतिक जगत का happiness भी ऐसे ही होता है. So there is that big lobe which is meters, and there is another lobe which is also meters. And the happiness that paneer or cheese is nanometers. कब आया कब गया पता ही नहीं लगता है. So the first lobe is called as the lobe of hankering. Hankering. हिंदी में बोलते हैं तृष्णा. कृष्णा नहीं, तृष्णा. Hankering. चाहिए, you know? I want it. Hankering. And mind it, hankering is a phase of very great pain. Hankering, you know? सो नहीं सकते क्योंकि चाहिए मिल नहीं रहा. जगह नहीं रह सकते क्यों? क्योंकि मिल नहीं रहा है. तो कैसे टॉलरेट करें? Hankering. And a person has to work hard. Foaming in the mouth. Hankering. So hankering is a state of great pain. It's like a pinprick, na constant prick. ये चाहिए मुझे मिल नहीं रहा है. I want it, I am not getting. It's a hankering. Hankering है ना जबरदस्त phase of suffering. बहुत बड़ा सफरिंग. अब मान लो गलती से मिल गया जो चाहिए था, तो मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम तो मिलता नहीं है. We try and try and cry and try and cry and then we die. ज्यादातर कहानी तो ऐसे ही रहता है. कुछ कहानी में गलती से मिल जाता है. तो मिल गया तो पर्सन इज हैप्पी. नाउ यू हैव गॉट योर चेरिश्ड व्हाटएवर यू वांटेड. You have got your cherished whatever you wanted. Now you are happy. The reality of this world is no sir. क्यों? मिल तो गया. So most of the times when you get what you wanted all the time, for all the time what you wanted, you have got what you wanted. Now you realize that that is not giving that happiness which you wanted from it. But most of the time when you get what you wanted, हमारी आंखें खुल जाती हैं कि अरे इसमें तो वो है नहीं जो चाहिए था. Is it not? So that is one kind of thing. I remember my father. What he had done was that he wanted to have a car. So he wanted to purchase a car. He was saving money. He wanted to. He believed in earning and then taking it. So he was saving money and all that. And he had his own calculations. But I had to save for future, for this, for that, and then some quota for car. Like that he was. He used to follow some principles. So he took 3 years exploration to figure out which car to model to buy. So he was thinking of buying a car when I was in nursery KG. When I came in class 11th, he bought the car finally. Yeah. So when he bought the car, then he was, then not a single day he was sitting in the home. And he used to catch all of us, come with me. And he would take us for a drive. And to different friends, acquaintances, anybody who had some probability of friendship, acquaintance, he would go and visit their homes. What was he up to? People will see his new car. And they will glorify what model and all that. He'll feel very nice. They congratulate and all that. At the end of that month, I remember. So I won't go into the details of that phase. Morning I was talking about it. That chase for honor, like that. But at the end of that, the most funny episode was there in the end of the month. He went to his very dear friend, Langodia type of. They both studied in Roorkee together. University of Roorkee, now it is IIT Roorkee, like that. He went to his friend and his friend came to see the vehicle and all that, and he was saying, very nice new vehicle, new this and that. And then he saw the brand. He said, hey, Matties, which model you took it? And then my father was posting the model, whatever it was, some SD, whatever, whatever. It had a code, model is a code. So my father very postingly told the code. And then his friend Langotia, he said, hey, you bought that model? Oh, re. Yaar, tumhara miss ho gaya. And my father, his face was like, ये क्या miss हो गया मेरा? Because he spent 10 years to get that vehicle. अभी क्या मिस हो गया? इसे रे अभी 10 दिन पहले मटीज का कुछ तो एक्सेल प्लस कुछ तो मॉडल आया है. It has 5 times the feature of this old one. ये old one तो obsolete है रे. यार तुमने जल्दबाजी कर दिया लेने में. थोड़ा 10 दिन और रुक जाता है. And my father, his face was like worth watching, I didn't have mobile those days. There was no mobile those days. Otherwise I would have taken a selfie and now I would have shown you. His face was like, See, why I pictorially remember? Because I was startled, See, I was a child. I was not having that much intelligence at that time. But I could understand that my father is in extreme misery, And then I was questioning, अरे तो फिर इतना fight क्यों? That whole episode, getting the vehicle and then getting the enjoyment, trying to squeeze out that enjoyment out of that vehicle, सारा वो balloon जो था पट करके burst हो गया. होता है एक पिन से इतना बड़ा balloon फाड़ करके फूट जाता है, Same thing happened with my father, and he was so miserable, And then he was lamenting, hi, वो Excel model 5 times features, Same cost. This is the nature of this world, And then there is anxiety to maintain it. जान अटका रहता है नई गाड़ी में. कुछ भी आवाज आता था तो my father would go out. तो क्या हो गया? अरे किसी ने बॉल तो नहीं मार दिया कार के ऊपर. That their heart is in the car. Like there is anxiety. And then everything has a decay curve, no? Everything gets lost, or it gets discolored, or it gets obsolete, or it gets fades off. उसके बाद क्या है? Lamentation, है चला गया, छूट गया, टूट गया, फूट गया, है ना? Is it not? वो lamentation का भी लोभ जो है, वो भी मीटर्स लंबा होता है. This is how material world is. One time, one devotee came to Pune temple. So in Pune temple, that camp temple, Char Tarapur Road. So I was in that temple, and one devotee came. He came to the temple hall. He was having a very morose face, you know, like that, you know, very morose face. So I was praying to the Lord. I went for good. I went for good vibrations, you know, to take darshan of the Lord and all that. बीच में ये भाई साहब दिख गए, you know, प्रभु जी, you know. And he was having such a morose face, I couldn't control myself. I went to him. I said, थोड़ा बाहर आइए, है ना? मैंने told him, शर्म नहीं आता है, ना? भगवान के सामने इतना गंदा फेस लेके, है ना? अरे when you come in front of the Lord, है ना? कुछ तो, ना? So you dump all your moroseness and all that outside in the dustbin and come to the Lord and, you know, be happy, singing, clapping for the pleasure of the Lord. ये क्या है ना देवदास का चेहरा बना के रखा है ना? हाँ. And he said, नहीं प्रभु जी, my life is waste प्रभु जी. मैंने कहा नहीं ये क्यों भाई, क्या हो गया तुम्हारे लाइफ में? बोले प्रभु जी हो ही तो नहीं रहा है ना. कुछ हो जाए तो समथिंग, यू नो, हो ही नहीं रहा है ना. सो भाई क्या चाहिए, है ना? क्या चाहिए? प्रभु जी जॉब. अच्छा जॉब नहीं मिला. अच्छा. And I was telling अरे भाई ये जॉब क्या ना, अभी जॉब में क्या बड़ी बात है ना, मिल जाएगा. एक गधे को भी जॉब मिलता है भाई, है ना? धोबी कंपनी में, है ना? तो सोनर और नेटर हर एक का एक दिन आता है जिस दिन उसको कुछ ना कुछ मिल जाता है. तो कीप वर्किंग हार्ड. व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम? सो आई वाज ट्राइंग टू एक्सप्लेन टू हिम कि भाई देखो, प्रॉब्लम्स आर देयर फॉर एवरीबॉडी. इवन इफ वन इज नॉट अ डिवोटी, ऐसा नहीं कि जो डिवोटी नहीं है उसकी लाइफ में प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, उसकी भी लाइफ में प्रॉब्लम होता है. लेकिन उसके पास कोई वेपन नहीं होता है कि उस प्रॉब्लम के साथ कैसे फाइट मारे. And you are a devotee, you have some weapon by which you can tackle that misery. So why you are crying? अभी देखो, मान लो चोर आया, आपके पास बंदूक है, तो फिर क्यों रो रहे हैं? अरे चोर आया, चोरा के ले जा रहा है, पर बंदूक मारो ना. कम से कम हवा में तो मारो उसको डराने के लिए, राइट ना? लाइक दैट. ना मटेरियल बंदूक क्या होता है, चलता नहीं है ना, टाइम पे नहीं चलता है. लेकिन स्पिरिचुअल बंदूक तो आसान है ना, हरे कृष्णा कभी भी चला सकते हैं ना. इसे ना बराबर है ना? स्पिरिचुअल बंदूक आसान है, तो आप क्यों रो रहे हैं? I told him, you put your fixed time endeavors, keep trying. लेकिन कम से कम देखो, जॉब तो वैसे लग नहीं रहा है ना? तो मटेरियल ग्राउंड में ज्यादा कुछ हो नहीं रहा है. कीप ट्राइंग, हो जाएगा कभी ना कभी. लेकिन स्पिरिचुअल ग्राउंड में तो आपको कुछ हो सकता है ना. तो कंटिन्यू चैंटिंग, कंटिन्यू रीडिंग, कम से कम कहीं तो कुछ हो जाएगा. हर जगह जीरो आने से अच्छा है कहीं तो कुछ हो रहा है. So anyhow, I don't know how much he understood, but I didn't see him for a long time. है ना? I didn't see him for a long time. You know? Then one day he came back, you know, and this day he was jumping up and down, and he was saying, Hari Bol, Prabhu ji, Hari Bol. क्या लगता है मिल गया इसका? He said, Prabhu ji, बस आपकी प्रेयर्स, आपकी कृपा से मिल गया ना. नहीं, मेरी कृपा नहीं है, आपके हार्डवर्क से मिला है. ना, बी सेटिस्फाइड, कम से कम आप ढंग से भक्ति करो. तो ना, कृष्णा इज अरेंज्ड, आई एम हैप्पी टू सी यू हैप्पी, ना ऐसे ही रहना बस, ना. तो ही सेड ओके, ना. उसके बाद फिर फॉर अ लॉन्ग टाइम ही वाज नॉट विजिबल. आफ्टर दैट अगेन ही वाज नॉट विजिबल फॉर अ लॉन्ग टाइम. पहले ही वाज नॉट विजिबल कि परेशानी चल रहा है लाइफ में, भक्ति कैसे करें. है ना? आफ्टर दैट क्यों इनविजिबल हो गए? अभी तो जॉब मिल गया ना बराबर, तो हैप्पीनेस हो गया, सब हो गया, सेटल हो गया, अब क्यों भक्ति में इनविजिबल हो गए? प्रमोशन तो बाद में आता है, लंबा कर्व होता है प्रमोशन। तो अब क्या है? अब इंटॉक्सिकेशन में, इज इट नॉट? राइट? सो नाउ इज इनफैचुएटेड, राइट? So previously, when problems come, then people say नहीं नहीं अभी तो परेशानी, अभी कैसे? और जब प्रॉब्लम चला जाता है तो अभी तो एंजॉय करने का टाइम है, अभी कैसे है ना? By the way, after a long time, he was again visible. अभी इस बार कौन सा फेस रहेगा? This time he was a morose face. So I saw him again. He was in front of the deity. He was in morose face, you know, like that. Then I went to him. I said, "अरे निकाल दिया क्या जॉब से?" है ना, जो ऐसे बोले, नहीं प्रभु जी, यही तो परेशानी है। क्या परेशानी है? कि निकाल ही नहीं रहे। ऐसे जॉब है ना, तो फिर क्यों रो रहे हैं? बोले प्रभु जी यही तो रोने की बात है कि अरे ये जॉब है, कौन सी मनोज घड़ी में जॉब मिला प्रभु जी, है ना? अभी क्या हो गया तुम्हारे साथ? बोले प्रभु जी 18 घंटे किस देते हैं ना, खाने का टाइम है ना सोने का टाइम है, पूरी बॉडी का कच्चीमोड़ बन गया है, कद्दू की तरह हो गया पूरा बॉडी, है ना, लाइक दैट। कभी डे शिफ्ट डालते हैं, कभी नाइट शिफ्ट डालते हैं, कभी इन बिटवीन शिफ्ट डालते हैं। मेरी बॉडी सेंसेशन ही लॉस कर दिया है कि दिन है रात है, कोई बॉडी सिग्नल ही नहीं देता है ना। तो ऑल द टाइम कभी है ना सारे सिग्नल्स बंद हो गए हैं, खाने का सिग्नल, सोने का सिग्नल, है ना। What was 2 days morning shift 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. 2 days afternoon shift 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. है ना, 2 days night shift 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. है ना, 7th day holiday, enjoy। बॉडी का कच्ची पड़ हो गया है। So he was even more miserable. So this is material world. If you don't have it, you are miserable. You have it, you are more miserable. And now suppose if you lose it, then also hey, है ना, चला गया, है ना, कुछ तो मिल रहा था। So when it is there you cry, when it is gone you cry. This is what is this material world. So hankering, you know, very thin film of, you know, experience of sense gratification, lamentation. Where is happiness? पूरा का पूरा suffering है। So now here, you come to page 2. So in page 2, see it is being written here. Now so Lord Krishna explains this material world as Dukhalayam, Ashashvatam. Dukha Alayam, the place of misery. जिधर क्या मिलता है? मिsery मिलता है। Now we did the full sense gratification analysis. If we do pre-phase, during phase, in phase, out phase, you know, post-phase, pre-phase, in phase, there is suffering. Hankering is suffering, lamentation is suffering, and when it is there, there is anxiety. Anxiety क्या है? खो ना जाए, टूट ना जाए, छूट ना जाए, आगे वाला आगे ना निकल जाए, नया मॉडल ना आ जाए, है ना? Anxiety. Where are we peaceful? But the problem is, so now you see the takeaway what it shows here. He says, so here it is written, temporary world will give temporary happiness. A real solution is to understand Krishna's teachings and seek happiness that lasts. See then quiz 1, if you see, quiz 1, the quiz 1 is showing, see, there is worry and there is hurry from womb to tomb, you know? Is there any phase in life we are peaceful? There is anxiety at all the phases of life. अभी देखो ये चॉकलेट टॉयज, ये एंजाइटी कौन सी एज में होता है?
5 years.
What age?
5 years.
5 years. Hate going to school?
1st to 5th standard.
6-7 years. Exam pressure, peer pressure, and all that.
School.
10, 12. Okay. Worries about failing getting a job?
College.
College, second year, third year. अभी आने वाला है आपका. Working long hours, no time for family.
New employer.
He is employed, है ना? फिर उसके बाद मैरिज का स्ट्रगल, फिर उसके बाद डाइवोर्स का फियर, एंग्जाइटी अबाउट रेजिंग अ रिस्पॉन्सिबल चाइल्ड. आजकल के बच्चे इतने नालायक.
Teenage daughter.
One time I was working in Pune. I was working in HSBC. So my mother told, अरे तुम्हारी चाची आ रही है Pune. I said, Pune ही क्यों आना है ना? They said, then my mother said, no, behave yourself. You better go and meet. I said, no. They said, no, you better. Because she was coming at some place which is 2 hours from where I was staying. Pune camp से 2 घंटा दूर है. Her friend was there, school friend, she was coming to meet and all. और बच्चों को भी लेके आते हैं. मैं mother told 6 बच्चे हैं. तो मुझे क्यों बता रहे हैं? I don't want to. माला करा दोगे सबको? Then my mother said, नहीं, माला बिल्कुल मत कराना. I said, I don't want to play with them. They said, नहीं, I am telling you the count. Better take some chocolates for them. I said, oh, my heart and with. So I was very miserable. I was not wanting to go. But anyhow, I had supposed to go. Social dealings, what to do? I was supposed to go. So on bike I had gone. उनके लिए 1000 रुपए का चॉकलेट लेके गया था. 150 into 6 हो गया ना लगभग 1000. बाकी 300 रुपए का पेट्रोल डाला होगा ना 2 घंटा आने जाने में. So anyhow I had gone and all that. So अभी बच्चों से तो क्या ना चाची की से तो क्या I was उनके फ्रेंड के हस्बैंड से I was talking है ना. So I was trying to understand. He was again my chacha was in merchant navy, what do you call it, as ship sailing, engineering side, navigation, no, engineering side. He was IME pass out, Indian Maritime University. So ये भाई साहब भी हुए थे. So I was talking to him and all that. All of a sudden my ये सारे 6 बच्चे सीन से बाहर थे. So I was very happy. बच्चे अभी इतना ज़्यादा सोने बेचारे, like that. So anyhow, I given them chocolates, beautifully, without showing any much expression on their face. I given them. So they were in some room inside and all that. All of a sudden, my chachi, she went in and all that, and she was passing by, and then she started shouting, And everybody thought, अभी क्या हो गया? किसी का कुछ एक्सीडेंट हो गया, गिर गया, पड़ गया, खून निकल गया, क्या हो गया? सर फूट गया, हाथ टूट गया, क्या हो गया? All of us ran to that room and all that, and my chachi was, shouting hi and all that, and so why she was shouting, the scene was what? So among all of the children there was one boy. He was the eldest. Eldest means he was class 5, and then there were 3 girls and one more small boy. Like that there were 6 children, like that. So this fellow, what he was doing, he was watching pornography with all the children. That is why she was shouting, like that. तो बहुत एंजाइटी है. So in life, worries about daughter safety. Next one. Then feeling lonely, weakness, being ignored. What is? So you see, every time there is anxiety. We are never bereft of anxiety. बहुत स्टॉक है anxiety का इस दुनिया में. बहुत ही जगह में है, like that. Then it comes to an interesting section here. So he says, so then the question which comes here is that, okay, let us identify the cause of our suffering. कि suffering आता क्यों है? Identify the cause of suffering. Causal analysis has to be done. So there are cause behind cause. If you can catch the root cause, you can get out of the suffering. But people don't catch the root cause. They get lost in the immediate cause. कैसा सीन रहता है? भौतिक जगत का सीन कैसा है? It is just like कभी आपने स्क्वॉश खेला है? स्क्वॉश पीने वाला स्क्वैश नहीं, स्क्वॉश.
स्क्वॉश टेनिस की तरह होता है लेकिन दीवार के साथ खेलते हैं, है ना. So there is a ball and you hit the ball very hard, है ना, like that. And person से अभी मार दिया, देखा क्या, है ना, what a shot, है ना. ये किधर मारा है? दीवार पे. क्या होने वाला है? दोबारा वापस आएगा. जोर से मारा है ना, जोर से वापस आएगा, सीधा सर के ऊपर आएगा, है ना, अंडा क्रिएट करने के लिए. Is it not? So squash is like that, you know? You hit it, again it will come back. You hit it again, again it will come back. You hit it again it will come back. पूरा जीवन यही करते रहते हैं. और स्क्वॉश का गेम खेलते रहते हैं कि भौतिक जगत का गेम ऐसा है उसमें रेस्ट नहीं होता है ना. उसका फाइनल इंटरवल एंड एक ही टाइम होता है ना, जब दी एंड होता है ना, फाइनल एंड, तभी गेम खत्म होता है ना. सो वन कैन नॉट क्विट द गेम. इज इट नॉट? All the time, you know, this is it comes back hard. So suffering keeps coming back. One is tackling one problem, it again comes back. The reason is why, because we are not understanding the root problem. भी उसका बड़ा रूट प्रॉब्लम है. रूट प्रॉब्लम क्या है? अभी जैसे राधेश्याम was telling one time, see, he was a child. When he was a child, one time he saw that he was on the first floor and there was a cat on the ground floor. So he got a big rod. People होते हैं ना, जाले निकालते हैं ना, the cobwebs we take out. There's a big rod and at the end of it there is some something where the cobwebs can get stuck, you know, like that. So he got something like that, you know. And then from the first floor, the cat was sitting on the ground floor. So from the first floor, he was what he did with his rod, I mean with that stick, danda, you know, with that danda, he was poking the cat, you know. So one time he poked at the back, you know, and then the cat swerved, you know. The cat was showing teeth to whom? To the danda, you know. And then next time he poked on the cat's nose, you know. The cat was very irritated. The cat was grinning, you know. And the cat was, you know, hitting her paws on that danda, you know, trying to jump on that danda, jump off from that danda, trying to show her teeth and all that, you know. And Raisham was enjoying and playing. You know, he was, you know, playing with this whole scene. But then, see, this cat was very miserable. And whatever way the cat was reacting, the cat was not getting any solution. Why? Because the cat was not able to identify the problem is not the danda. The problem is the hand on the first floor which is moving that danda. Is it not? So, so that is the main problem. And because of inability to identify that, the cat was miserable. हमारा भी ऐसे ही होता है. हमको लगता है अरे, है ना, now this problem is coming in my life. Let me just try to eradicate that problem. So we keep playing table tennis, lawn tennis, squash with the immediate problem, but we don't go back to see why problems are coming per se. अब इधर से प्रॉब्लम को भगाते हैं, दूसरी तरफ से आते हैं, because there is a very fundamental base problem. See, this is explained in one of the Prabhupada's pastimes also. One time Prabhupada was in Vrindavan. So outside his room there is a window, and then there is a chacha, you know, what do you call it as in English? Yeah, there is some kind of roof type of small structure, no, on a window. Shed kind of a thing. So below that shed, you know, some birds, they started making nests, sparrows. And because they were making nests, they were creating a lot of noise. So Prabhupada pointed that out to his secretaries and then Prabhupada disciples. So they removed that, they broke off that, you know, whatever the nest was made, they threw it off, they broke it off, you know, like that. And these sparrows were watching, you know. Our dream nest is broken, you know. Again they came back, they were trying hard, you know. Again he, you know, broke it off, you know. Again they were trying hard and trying to make nest. Again and again and again. For a long time these sparrows kept trying that. Why? Because they were not realizing that okay, that place is a wrong place to make nest. That place is the wrong place to make nest. In the same way, the Shastras are pointing out that this place, our quest for happiness is not a problem, but we are searching happiness in the wrong place. होना भी चाहिए ना, is it not? होना भी चाहिए ना. Now suppose you come, you say, Prabhu, please give me some prasad. लेकिन मान लो हमने कुकिंग किया ही नहीं, किया है डिनर, नो प्रॉब्लम, मिलेगा. लेकिन सपोज नहीं किया है, अभी किया ही नहीं, तो हाउ कैन वी गिव? उनमें से ठीक है, चलो 1.5 घंटा किचन में ना साथ में के कुकिंग करते हैं, वी चैंट हरे कृष्णा एंड देन ऑफर टू कृष्णा एंड देन टेक. नो, आई वांट इमीडिएटली. तो कैसे मिलेगा, है ना? सो इफ यू आर सर्चिंग एट अ रॉन्ग प्लेस, यू वोंट गेट इट. प्रसाद चाहिए, किचन में जाना होगा ना. टेरेस में चले गए तो मिलेगा क्या? तो इसलिए हैप्पीनेस चाहिए, कृष्ण के पास जाना चाहिए. दैट इज द किचन फॉर हैप्पीनेस. जहाँ कुकिंग होता है वही मिलेगा ना. यहाँ प्रोडक्शन ही नहीं हो रहा है, मिलेगा कैसे? इन द मटेरियल वर्ल्ड द हैप्पीनेस प्रोडक्शन डज नॉट टेक प्लेस. क्योंकि ये मटेरियल वर्ल्ड चलता है, दिस होल मटेरियल वर्ल्ड रन्स ऑन द मशीनरी ऑफ इल्यूजन. और इल्यूजन क्यों चलाना पड़ता है इल्यूजन पे? क्योंकि रियलिटी में कुछ है ही नहीं, इसीलिए तो इल्यूजन पे चलाना पड़ता है. इसे रियलिटी में कुछ है ही नहीं, है ना? सो बिकॉज देयर इज नथिंग इन रियलिटी, देयरफॉर पीपल आर रनिंग ऑन इल्यूजन. तो इसीलिए मटेरियल वर्ल्ड simply keeps people simply keeps running on whims and fancies. People just feel that if I get married I'll be happy. If I get children and they're saying Papa, no, I'll be very happy. If I go to Australia, I'll be very happy. If I get a green card of the United States, I'll be very happy. है ना? ये सारा illusion ही है. All this is an illusion. That's all. So this world basically runs on illusion. We are searching for happiness at a wrong place. Krishna is the reservoir of happiness. Material world is a shadow potency of Krishna. Person shadow. बराबर ना? Now we are meeting the person, we want to embrace the person out of love, है ना? भाई से मिल रहे हैं 10 साल के बाद, है ना? Suppose भाई is come from US after 4 years, we are meeting him like that. We want to embrace. भाई है, भाई का shadow है, किसको embrace करेंगे? Shadow को embrace किया तो कुछ नहीं मिलने वाला है. Is it not? Shadow doesn't have that love. Person has that love. Is it not? Shadow is the trailer. Is it not? So अभी जैसे रेस्टोरेंट sometimes they give their advertisement ये रेस्टोरेंट ये आइटम है ना, they will like they give all their food items वगैरह, they look very attractive. लेकिन क्या satisfy हो जाते हैं? नहीं हो सकते हैं. By the advertisement of a restaurant we don't get satisfied. When we go to the restaurant and eat the commodity, provided somebody pays for it, then we'll feel very happy. Is it not? Right, no? Like that. Just by watching the trailer, we don't feel happy. So material world क्या है? Trailer है. Everything is in a shadow concept. Everything is in a shadow concept. Material world is just a trailer, it's just a reflection, it's just a shadow, and therefore our attempt to happiness are thwarted. हालांकि material world, everything is in this material world, everything is in this material world, everywhere Krishna is there, but he is hidden, access nahi hai. So that means in any situation in this material world we can be happy. Only problem is we don't have access. इसीलिए you see this quotes on this booklet and this session is named as passport for happiness. ये material world में happiness है, log है, access passport चाहिए, वो है नहीं. और कोई देना भी चाहे तो लोग बोलते हैं मैं नहीं. Just like Srila Prabhupada sometimes say we go to somebody and we we say chant, and people say can't. भाई एक तो पासवर्ड दे रहे हैं आपको, है ना? मुंह का 12 बजा के रखा है, हाल बेहाल है ना? एक आपको पासवर्ड दे रहे हैं और फिर बोल रहा है can't, है ना बेवकूफ? Is it not? So this is what is the material world. You need a password for happiness. What is that password? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. One time I was going for placement. Acharatna Babu came and he told me, okay, so what are you up to? I said I am going for placement, interview and all that. Babu said, oh, okay, all the best. And Prabhu said, but you go, before going for your interview, you go in front of the Lord and offer obeisances. I said, yes, Prabhu, anyways I'll do that. You know? He said, no, not that way. I said, okay, Prabhu, then which way you tell me, you know? Because he understood what way I was up to, you know? Common way. He said, no, you go and pray to the Lord. You go and pray to the Lord that that oh Krishna, whatever is best for my spiritual life, you please arrange for me. I said, ठीक. And then Prabhu said, नहीं, अभी रुको, और है, you know, I started walking. I said, ठीक है Prabhu, I am going. He said, नहीं, I am telling more. I said, okay, what is next? Then Prabhu said that, okay, whether you get job or not job, both situations, come back, go to the Lord, again offer obeisances and thank the Lord. ये थोड़ा समझ नहीं आया. जॉब मिल गया तो आगे थैंक कर देंगे, नहीं मिला तो फिर कैसे थैंक करेंगे? I said, no, this is Krishna consciousness. अच्छा, ये थोड़ा समझाइए ना. Then he started telling, no. He started telling, see, so he started telling me, see, if you get a job, you can thank Krishna that, okay, Krishna, I had that anxiety, my mind was stuck up there, you know. You solved my anxiety, my that material need, whatever family duties, everything will be done now. Now I can happily practice Krishna consciousness. Thank you, Krishna. That is the thanks. A job nahi mila to? And then Ajahn was saying, see, Krishna will not give you something which is detrimental for you. So the job nahi mila, then you should understand that if you would have got that job, life would have been not very good for you. Like it happened with that devotee, who was not getting a job and then he was having shift jobs, like that. So having faith that Krishna is not giving, that means it is not healthy and not good for your spiritual life, therefore he is not giving. So you should go and thank Krishna. Thank you, Krishna, you saved me from an unfavorable situation. So that day I learned a nice lesson. That day I learned a nice lesson. So that is what a devotee can be happy in any circumstance. Job mila to, Hari Bol. Job nahi mila to, Hari Bol. Isn't that right? So when we learn the access to Krishna, then we can be happy in every circumstance. That. So then we can be happy in every circumstance. So therefore, suffering is coming because of material desires. Wrong desire itself is the cause of suffering. Wrong desire itself or material desire itself is the cause of suffering, because the entire material world runs on this illusion. And owing to illusion and imagination, person keeps running, and when one achieves to a state, person sees that there is no happiness here. That's exactly how this material world is. So, that's exactly how this material world is. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sri Thakur Maharaj gives a very nice story in this regard. It is a material world कैसा एक circus की तरह है. Circus की तरह है. बराबर एक circus. It's like a circus. कैसा circus? 1 rupee circus. एक बार क्या हुआ, एक पूरे सिटी में अनाउंसमेंट आया है ना, all the boards, all the hoardings everywhere, the announcement was there है ना, we are coming, वैसे करके बोर्ड था है ना, fasten your belts, we are coming. Everybody got excited, क्या आ रहा है, something very adventurous is going to come है ना. Then it's a historical, never before in history, never again in future, we are coming. People were very excited. Finally they revealed क्या आ रहा है अभी है ना. That was a very unique circus. What was unique in that? Many aspects were unique in that. सबसे पहला यूनिक था, it was only 1 rupee. People said very nice. 1 rupee में enjoyment. वाह, वाह, full enjoyment. वाह. Another feature in that circus was that they said this enjoyment is exclusively for you. One-on-one show होगा. People were very happy. अरे one-on-one, 1 रुपये में enjoyment, वो भी exclusive, किसी के साथ बांटना भी नहीं. वाह, मजा आ गया. So people were standing in line for days to get the first day, first ticket and all that, you know. And it was the talk of the town. Everybody wanted to be there and enjoy that circus. Never before in history, never again in future. Unlimited enjoyment. Very unique, 1 rupee circus. So finally that day came, and the first guy who had done lot of tapasya, many nights he stood in line, you know, to get that first ticket, you know. He thought as if he is the most fortunate guy in the world, you know. He became anti-gravity, his feet were not touching the ground, he was waving to everyone, hey, अभी मैं जा रहा हूँ, ना, ये करके ना, he started, ना, अभी मैं जा रहा हूँ. And everybody else was envious, ठीक है, you are getting the first chair, हमारा भी number आएगा. So this guy walked in the circus, it was a big hall, big stage, everything empty. One-on-one था ना. But show करने वाला ही नहीं था कोई. This guy he started shouting, hey, कोई है क्या? कोई पैसे भी ले लिए, कुछ दिखाओ तो सही. No, I paid money. I took the ticket. I am a bona fide customer. Where is the show? Where is my enjoyment? Because he was waiting so much for enjoyment. Nobody was coming. For a long time, he was shouting, you know, banging the desk, banging the doors, whatever he could bang. And finally, 2 very hefty guys came. They were like sumo wrestlers. 2 of them, they came. They were like very hefty guys. And this gentleman, he said, "Arey, mera enjoyment kahan hai? Circus. Show me the circus." They said, "Haan, you want enjoyment?" He said, "Yes." They caught him, started beating him left, right, countdown. Third, fourth, you know, like that, no? And he was crying, ouch, bada hall tha, awaaz bahar nahi ja raha tha, no? So that way, exclusive, you know? So he got full VIP treatment for a long time, you know? You know, after that they threw him, he said, "Maza aaya? और चाहिए?" ठीक है, जाओ. So this guy, he was, you know, locating all the coordinates of his body, you know. कि दांत place पे है कि नहीं, नाक place पे है कि नहीं, you know, like that. सब ठीक है कि नहीं, you know. Putting his shirt all right, you know. Because now he was seeing, he was wondering, अभी क्या है, बाहर thousands of people are there. And if they understand कि मेरे साथ क्या हुआ, so I will be the laughing stock of the town for the next 20 years to come. Is it not? You should इनको तो बता नहीं सकते क्या हुआ है, ना? वो बता दिया तो I will be the most laughing guy, you know? And people will laugh, हाँ, बहुत स्टार्ट बन रहे थे, ना? ना, first day, first show, और enjoy करो, ना? Like that. So he came out. As soon as he came out, he started smiling, you know. And people started asking. They were in expectation and all that. Kaisa raha? Everybody was asking. And he said, "बहुत अच्छा रहा, memorable experience, lifetime experience, must for everyone." और इनकी बातें सुन के the second guy, he was feeling so happy. हाँ, मुझे मिलेगा ना, like that, no? He also same treatment, but when he came out, मिला, must, lifetime experience. ये बहुत ही जगह ऐसे ही होता है. This material world is exactly like that, and we come in this material world and we are beaten up top, down, left, right, everything. But person says, "Hey, how can I reveal to everyone?" Yeah? So person puts on a nice smile on the face. अब देखो किसी भी सोशल मीडिया प्रोफाइल में उनका चेहरा देखो, है ना, कहीं पे दिखता है क्या, है ना, उजड़ा चमन चेहरा, है ना, Everybody seems to be rocking, throbbing, isn't that? Like that. This is how this material world is. Islam Satagun Maharaj says, the 1 rupee circus. And that's exactly the happiness of this material world. So we need to understand that this mentality to try to enjoy without God is what enhances our suffering. Okay, so let's go to Simon. Oh, sorry, Simon. So this material world at best can see, the problem is in this material world, the Shastras describe very beautifully, the nature of this world. In this material world there is illusion. That's how this material world is. There is illusion, but Maya Shakti works in a very foolproof manner, So she provides illusion, so we all get illusion, like that. Now she provides illusion and we get illusion. This is not the end of the story because she does her job very nicely. So she has a double net. First net is illusion and we get trapped in illusion. And we are in illusion and we are suffering. So we think that this will give me happiness, we try for it and when we reach it we don't get happiness. And we get fooled. This is the illusion. But then Maya Shakti does step 2. She gives another layer of illusion. So what happens? We come in illusion about our illusion. So when one is in illusion, there is a chance to get out of illusion. Because as soon as one realizes that it is illusion, then one can get out of the illusion. But if one has come in illusion about one's illusion, one will never be able to come out of illusion. Right or wrong? You agree with me? One can only come out of illusion if one is able to realize that one is in illusion. If one comes into illusion about one's illusion, that perpetuates one's illusion. One will not even endeavor to get out of that illusion and thus eternally one will remain in illusion. Welcome to the material world. This is exactly how it is. Just to understand the simple analogy, see, a person is diseased. Having a disease is not a problem. The problem is, बीमार हो गया अब क्या कर सकते हैं? Being diseased is not a problem. Because if you are diseased, you can go to a doctor and get cured. So, falling in illusion is not a problem. Because if you fall in illusion and you get cheated, you can always go to a spiritual doctor. You can come to proper. You can come to saintly personalities. And then we can get the cure. We can get the medicine, we can come out of illusion. But if somebody is diseased and is thinking, I'm alright. So that is checkmate situation. Is it not? Nobody can help such a person. Can anybody help such a person? Medicine exists. Doctors exist. That is why in this material world, God exists, devotees exist, happiness exists, still suffering exists. तो लोगों को समझ में नहीं आता, people are not able to understand why there is suffering in this world. They say God is existing, why suffering is existing? अरे God is existing, still suffering is existing. क्योंकि तुमको किसने बोला कि suffering को जाके embrace करने को? You keep embracing suffering and you drown in that pool of suffering. उससे बाहर नहीं निकल सकते क्या? If you understand you have fallen, then you can take some support and get up, na? It's a simple logic. Simple logic. So if suffering is existing, you can get out of the suffering, no? And if you know it is suffering, you can walk off from that. So who told you to embrace suffering in the first place? And then we embrace suffering, then we are saying Bhagwan ne suffering diya. So this is the point actually. Just like doctor exists, medicine exists, and patient still exists, and the disease may continue to exist if one does not go to the doctor. In the same way, suffering will continue to exist if we don't go to Krishna. So therefore, live in reality, not in illusion. Not in illusion, because illusion is eternal. Reality is only one. For reality is Krishna. Illusion is infinite. Jaise, for example, 4 into 2 equals to what?
8.
Okay. How many answers are there? एक ही आंसर है ना?
एक ही आंसर, राइट.
कोई भी मैथमेटिक्स बोल लो, है ना? Simple mathematics, complex mathematics, 2 into 4 equals to what?
8.
There is only one answer, right? Now if I ask a question, tell me what 4 into 2 is not equal to?
Infinite.
उसके कितने options हैं?
Infinite options. Any.
है ना infinite options? Is there any end to that options? If somebody says चलो इसको मैं try करता हूँ, थोड़ा मजा चखते हैं, थोड़ा experience लेते हैं. अरे बाबा experience? Eternity, life after life घूमते रह जाओगे. 4 into 2 what it is not equal to? Is it not? वो एक आंसर जो है वो बाहर है उस सेट के, राइट? दिस इज व्हाट इज कॉल्ड एज पुनरपि जननम पुनरपि मरणम पुनरपि जननी जठरे शयनम इह संसारे बहुदुस्तारे कृपया पारे पाहि मुरारे. So that one, that murare we have excluded, and one is roaming around and doing circles and circles and circles in illusion. So इसीलिए don't play around with illusion. Illusion is infinite. So just like 2 into 4 is a very straightforward problem, similarly the problem of finding happiness is a very straightforward problem. By simple connection with Krishna one can find happiness. लेकिन we think नहीं, हम तो बहुत smart है ना, हम IIT, SIT, MIT, ये है ना, like that. इतने आसानी से कैसे मान ले? हमें तो try out करना है ना. और ट्राई आउट क्या करना है? सेट ऑफ इल्यूजन. और वो सेट इतना भयानक सेट है ये, इट इज एन इनफिनाइट सेट. एंड देन पर्सन इज थिंकिंग, अरे मैंने कितना कुछ मेहनत किया, ये किया, वो किया, है ना, फिर भी मिजरेबल क्यों? बिकॉज माय डियर सर, यू आर नॉट रेडी टू लीव द ग्राउंड ऑफ इल्यूजन. दैट इज द प्रॉब्लम. द रियलिटी इज कृष्णा. रियलिटी इज वन. So therefore, it is not that this material world the Lord has made to create suffering for us. If you see Bhagavad Gita 3:10, 3rd chapter, 10th verse, the Lord explains, Saha yajna prajashishtva. The Lord is explaining. Would you like to switch that on? बस ऑन स्विच एक बार दबाना है. It will come. Don't worry. The Lord explains 3:10 that, so here in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna is explaining that I have created, the Lord is saying that the Supreme Lord has created this material world for the happiness of the living entity. Therefore, along with the material world, the Lord has given Vedas, which are giving the formulas of sacrifices, and the Lord is saying, be thou happy by following these mantras and formulas. यानी कि भगवान ने पासवर्ड फॉर हैप्पीनेस सृष्टि के सृजन से ही दिया है. फ्रॉम द क्रिएशन द लॉर्ड हैज गिवन द पासवर्ड फॉर हैप्पीनेस. लेकिन वी आर सो स्मार्ट, वी डोंट टेक इट. विषय नहीं, मैं इन्वेंट करूंगा माय ओन पासवर्ड, है ना, लाइक दैट. So the Lord is given, right? See, 3 times the Lord speaks this. Very clearly the Lord says here. See, in the beginning of the creation, the Lord of all creatures sent forth generations of men and demigods along with sacrifices for Vishnu and blessed them by saying, "Be thou happy by this yajna, sacrifice, because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happily and achieving liberation." Means the Lord is telling for being happy in this life and being happy in further lives. Getting the best in the world and for all times to come. That means body, this material happiness also the Lord has arranged. And the Lord is telling, just take this, accept this yajna sacrifice, I am already giving to you. Ye le lo, kha lo, you will be happy. You will get material enjoyment also, means in this life also and eternally also. अच्छा है ना, good proposal ना? Still we are suffering? Still we are suffering? Like that. So therefore, the point is that suffering is not a creation of God. Suffering is our own creation of false ego and stubbornness. कि भगवान से कनेक्ट नहीं होना है और कुछ भी कैसे मीन्स बिकॉज दैट इज द साइंस नो सी बाई से ये लैपटॉप को मैं चार्जिंग से बस कनेक्ट नहीं करूंगा तो ठीक है 1.5 घंटे में फ्यूज ऑफ हो जाएगा इज इट नॉट ना सर बट आई हैव बॉट परचेज 2 लाख ये 30,000 का है बट 2 लाख के भी लैपटॉप होते हैं somebody से 2 लाख रुपए डाला है इसमें चल क्यों नहीं रहा है अरे बाबा चलेगा उसको चार्जिंग में तो लगाओ नहीं चार्जिंग नहीं लगाना है बाकी और में कुछ So then this is a very foolish stubbornness, is it not? So we need to understand the mechanisms, the circuitry of life. And now Jiva and God, they are wired for each other. Jiva has potentiality, but that potentiality starts working only when the connection to God happens. And if we don't do that connection, no matter whatever accolades, in this, even if it is 64 GB RAM, even if it is 16 GB GPU, still if there is no charging, not a single thing will come out. है ना? जितने भी बटन दबाता रहूँगा मैं, कुछ भी नहीं आने वाला है, ठेंगा भी नहीं आने वाला है. Is it not? Why? Charging नहीं. इसीलिए people are crying. मैं IIT आ गया, SIT आ गया, अमेरिका आ गया, ऑस्ट्रेलिया आ गया, एक वाइफ आ गया, चाइल्ड आ गया, घर आ गया, गाड़ी आ गया, ये आ गया, वो आ गया, हैप्पीनेस नहीं आया. केवल हार्डवेयर के कॉन्फ़िगरेशन बढ़ाए जा रहे हैं, चार्जिंग कर नहीं रहे हैं. So the problem of suffering and happiness is as simple or as complex as that. So therefore, one who is broad-minded, for such a person, the problem is very simple. Simply connect to God. That's it. But for one who is stubborn, the problem is checkmate situation. The problem is never going to get solved. So, the problem is never going to get solved. So therefore suffering, we are suffering because of our own stubbornness, our own cherished लंगोटिया false ego. Because this false ego is telling नहीं, जो एल्गोरिथम दिया हुआ है वो नहीं लेना है, खुद का बनाना है एल्गोरिथम. And that is why we are suffering, है ना? So therefore Krishna is ready, है ना? Krishna is ready, है ना? Krishna is ready with Mahaprasad of happiness. He is telling, take it. There is ocean, ample supply, as much as you want to take it. है ना? So therefore, any opportunity we get to revive our relationship with Krishna and connection to Krishna is a very glorious and fortunate opportunity. We should make the best use of that. And in that way, we can solve all the problems of life in a very simple way. Not by our own strength, but by Krishna's strength. That is the password for happiness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we are so fortunate to have such a nice, deep, full open, transparent understanding of this material world from Prabhuji. We are fortunate to get that. So I don't know how such a long time passed and on such a important point to understand it. Although we have heard it, but when we hear it from such a deep realization of such great devotees who are practicing it in their life, not just theoretically but with a deep realization, that is very, very convincing and very, very satisfying. And we get inspiration also, right? How many of you are inspired? Material world, such काम दूर जाना चाहिए. Yeah, so that is a perfection of Prabhuji's presentation and his open talking. So let us very heartily thank his representative by one-time only chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So there is bhajan sometime.
Yes. So we'll start off with Bhajan Sandhya then. So we wanted to spend some time absorbing in the glories of the Lord and bhajans.